27th Special Operations Wing. The 27th Special Operations Wing is a wing of the United States Air Force stationed at Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico. It is assigned to the Air Force Special Operations Command of AFSOC. The wing mission includes infiltration, exfiltration, and resupply of Special Operations Forces, air refueling of Special Operations rotary wing and tiltrotor aircraft, and precision fire support. These capabilities support a variety of special operations missions including direct action, unconventional warfare, special reconnaissance, counter-terrorism, personnel recovery, psychological operations, and information operations. The wing also is responsible for the Melrose Range, an air training range near the neighboring town of Melrose, New Mexico. The commander of the 27th Special Operations Wing is Colonel Terence Taylor. Organization: 27th Special Operations Group 27 SOG 27th, 3rd Special Operations Squadron 3 SOS, MQ-9 Reaper, 9th Special Operations Squadron 9 SOS, MC-130J Commando Roman 2, 12th Special Operations Squadron 12 SOS, MQ-9 Reaper Launch and Recovery, 16th Special Operations Squadron 16 SOS, a C-130W Stinger Roman 2, 20th Special Operations Squadron 20 SOS, CV-22B Osprey, 33rd Special Operations Squadron 33 SOS, MQ-9 Reaper, 56th Intelligence Squadron 56 is 318th Special Operations Squadron 318 SOS, U-28A, T8A, P8A, T8A, T8A, A8A, T8A, A8A, T8A, T8A, T8A. 27th Special Operations Mission Support Group 27 SOMSC, 27th Special Operations Logistics Readiness Squadron, 27th Special Operations Force Support Squadron, 27th Special Operations Civil Engineer Squadron, 27th Special Operations Contracting Squadron, 27th Special Operations Security Forces Squadron, 27th Special Operations Communications Squadron, 27th Special Operations Maintenance Group 27 SOMPS G27th Special Operations Maintenance Squadron, 27th Special Operations Aircraft Maintenance Squadron 9th AMU and 16th AMU, 727th Special Operations Aircraft Maintenance Squadron 12th AMU and 20th AMU, 27th Special Operations Medical Group 27 SOMJ, 27th Special Operations Medical Operations Squadron, 27th Special Operations Aerospace Medicine Squadron, 27th Special Operations Medical Support Squadron. History: see 27th Special Operations Group for related history and lineage information. Post-war era. Established as the 27th Fighter Wing on 28 July 1947 at Kearney Army Airfield, Nebraska, with the 27th Fighter Group as its operational component. The operational squadrons of the 27th were the 522d, 523d, and 524th Fighter Squadrons. The 27th was initially equipped with the North American P-51D Mustang, and in 1948 was upgraded to the new North American F-82 E-twin Mustang. In June 1948, the designation P for Pursuit was changed to F for Fighter. Subsequently, all P-51s were redesignated F-51s. The mission of the 27th Fighter Wing was to fly long-range escort missions for AFSOC Boeing B-29 Superfortress bombers. With the arrival of the F-82s, the older F-51s were sent to Air National Guard units. The first production F-82s reached the 27th in early 1948, and almost immediately the group was deployed to McChord Air Force Base, Washington, in June, where its squadrons stood on alert on a secondary air defense mission due to heightened tensions over the Berlin airlift. It was also believed that the 27th would launch an escort mission, presumably to the Soviet Union, if conflict broke out in Europe. From McCord, the group flew its twin Mustangs on weather reconnaissance missions over the Northwest Pacific, but problems were encountered with their fuel tanks. Decommissioned F-61 Black Widow external tanks were found at Hamilton, AFB, California, that could be modified for the F-82, which were fitted on the pylons of the twin Mustang that solved the problem. With a reduction in tensions, the 27th returned to its home base in Nebraska during September, where the unit settled down to transition flying with their aircraft. 4 F-82s were deployed to Alaska from McCord, where the pilots provided transition training to the 449th Fighter All-Weather Squadron, which used twin Mustangs in the air defense mission. They remained in Alaska for about 45 days, returning to rejoin the rest of the group at the beginning of November 1948. In January 1949, 8th Air Force planned a large celebration at Carswell Air Force Base. All of its assigned units were to participate in a coordinated flyover. Most of SAC bombers were to participate, along with SAC-only long-range fighter group, the 27th. The weather in Nebraska in January that year was especially horrible, with most airports in the Midwest weathered in the day of the display. At Kearney, the base was socked in with a blizzard. Nevertheless, the crews had an early morning mission briefing. The aircraft in the hangars were proflighted and prepared for the flyover mission. Paths were cut through the snow for the aircraft to taxi, and somehow the F-82s got airborne, with the 27th's twin Mustangs joining up with SAC bombers over Oklahoma on schedule. The flyover by the twin Mustangs was a tremendous success, with SAC leadership being amazed that the F-82 was truly an all-weather aircraft, and the 27th being able to carry out their mission despite the weather. In early 1949, the 27th began carrying out long-range escort profile missions. Flights to Puerto Rico, Mexico, the Bahamas, and nonstop to Washington, D.C. were carried out. For President Truman's 1949 inauguration, the 27th FEW launched 48 aircraft to fly in review along with several other fighter units in formation down Pennsylvania Avenue. Another flyover over the newly dedicated Idlewild Airport in New York City soon followed, with the aircraft flying nonstop from Kearney. With the tight defense budgets in the late 1940s, the decision was made by Strategic Air Command decided to close Kearney in 1949. The 27th Fighter Wing was transferred to Bergstrom Air Force Base, Texas on 16 March. At Bergstrom, the 27th transitioned to jet aircraft with Republic F-84 E Thunderjet in 1950 and was redesignated the 27th Fighter Escort Wing on 1 February. The wing won the Mackay Trophy for successful deployment of 90 F-84s from Bergstrom to Fürstenfeldbruck Air Base, West Germany, in September 1950 via Labrador, Greenland, Iceland, and England. This was the second, the first being the 20th Fighter Group, flying 64 F-84DS on 20 July 1950 during Operation Ready from Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina, to RAF Manston, United Kingdom. Long-range mass flight of jet aircraft in aviation history. Korean War. See 27th Fighter Escort Group for more information about the wing's combat duties during the Korean War. The Korean War began in June 1950, and by November the wing was transferred with the advance echelon landing at Taegu-abe, South Korea on 5 December, and the rear echelon at Itazuke-abe, Japan on 1 December. Combat operations in support of the UN ground forces began immediately and continued after the advance echelon was transferred to Itazuke in late January 1951. The 27th Fighter Escort Wing was one of the first F-84 units to see combat action in Korea and earned numerous honors and awards for their combat record during the Korean War. The 27th flew missions in support of ground forces earning another DUC for missions between 26 January and 21 April 1951. Among these missions was close support of the largest paratroop landing in the Korean War and escort for Boeing B-29 Superfortress bombers on raids over North Korea, including air-to-air combat with enemy MiG-15 fighters. For its Korean War service, the 27th Fighter Escort Wing received the Distinguished Unit Citation, covering the period of 26 January through 21 April 1951, for their actions in Korea. The 27th was relieved of its duties supporting UN forces in Korea and returned to Bergstrom on 31 July 1951. Re-equipped with F-84G Thunderjets, the wing redeployed to Misawa Air Base, Japan, for a tour in providing air defense of the Japanese home island. This mission made stops at Travis Air Force Base, California, Hickam Air Force Base, Hawaii, and Midway Island. At Misawa, the 27th relieved the 31st Fighter Escort Wing, which had been performing the air defense mission. The 27th was itself relieved at Misawa on 13 February 1953 by the 508th Strategic Fighter Wing and returned to Bergstrom, where they were re-equipped with New Republic F-84. Cold War. Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, the 27th TFW deployed individual F-100 squadrons to Southeast Asia, which included Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Units from Cannon deployed the first F-100 squadron to Thailand in 1962–1963 and South Vietnam in 1964. Beginning in 1964 and throughout the Vietnam War years, squadrons from the 27th TFW were deployed and detached to Air Force units and bases around the world. The 27th did not recombine as a cohesive wing until 1973. In December 1965, with most of its operational squadrons deployed, the mission of the 27th changed from a tactical fighter wing to a replacement training unit. The 27th Tactical Fighter Wing became the largest such unit in TAC. The 4,585th Student Squadron was initially activated on 1 January 1966 to perform this mission. Later, the 4,429th Combat Crew Training Squadron was organized on 15 May 1968 as a second training squadron, replacing the deployed 523 TFS. Many F-100 pilots that flew in the Vietnam War trained at Cannon. From Cannon, the aircrews were transferred to the F-100 bases in South Vietnam: Phu Cat Air Base 37th TFW, Phan Rang Air Base 35th TFW, and Tai Hoa Air Base 31st TFW. The 27th also trained forward air controllers FAC and air liaison officers ALO in Lockheed T-33 Shooting Stars from 1969 to 1976. The 4,468 TAC Control Squadron initially performed this mission. In 1969, the 4,468th was replaced by the 609th Tactical Control Squadron. The 609th operated the Westinghouse and /TP-43 long-range air surveillance radar as its primary mission equipment. The /TP-43 is a transportable three-dimensional air search radar produced in the United States originally by Westinghouse Defense and Electronic Division, which was later purchased by Northrop Grumman. The 609th was inactivated on 15 June 1976. Post-Vietnam era, 1990s to today. On 1 November 1991, the 27 TFW was redesignated the 27th Fighter Wing as part of an Air Force-wide reorganization. As part of the implementation of the Objective Wing concept adapted by the Air Force, the 27th Operations Group was bestowed the lineage, honors, and history of its predecessor history and honors of the 27 Tactical Fighter Group and its predecessor units. The 27 OJ took control of the Wing's fighter squadrons upon activation. In June 1992, the 27 FW became part of a new Major Command Air Combat Command. ACC was created when SAC TAC and the Military Airlift Command merged to form two commands, ACC and the Air Mobility Command. Following the enemy attacks on New York and Washington in 2001, the wing deployed personnel and aircraft globally in operations associated with the War on Terror. On 11 September 2001, aircraft from 522th FS, 523 FS, and 524th FS entered alert status. Less than 2 weeks after the 9/11 attacks, the 27 Civil Engineer Squadron deployed members to build a Bear base in direct support of Operation Infinite Justice, later changed to Operation Enduring Freedom, as one of the first units deployed to the area of Oper. In December 2002, the 524 FS deployed to Kuwait and participated in the 2003 invasion of Iraq, dropping nearly 1 million pounds of precision-guided munitions, more than any other F-16 Block 40 squadron in history. On 13 May 2005, the Base Realignment and Closure BRAC Commission recommended that Cannon Air Force Base be closed. However, on 25 August 2005, the BRAC Commission overturned the recommendation that Cannon AFB be closed, but upheld the withdrawal of the base's F-16 fighter aircraft. The Air Force had until 31 December 2009 to come up with a new use for Cannon AFB, otherwise the base would be closed in 2010. Cannon AFB attempted to reopen a rejected EIS alternative by substituting an environmental assessment. Comments were accepted through 4 October 2010. On 20 June 2006, it was announced that Cannon would transfer from Air Combat Command. Initial word was that the 16th Special Operations Wing would transfer from Hurlburt Field, Florida. However, it was later decided that the 27th Fighter Wing would transfer from ACC to AFSOC. This action entailed expanding and realigning aspects of both the 16th Special Operations Wing and Air Force Special Operations Command, also headquartered at Hurlburt Field. This designation meant that the base would receive new aircraft to replace the F-16s lost in the BRAC realignment. Jurisdiction was formally transferred to AFSOC on 1 October 2007. New airframes, including the CV-22 Osprey, were assigned to the 27 SOW at Cannon. Other aircraft included the AC-130H Spectre gunship, the MC-130J Commando Roman II, the PC-12, the C-146, and various remotely piloted aircraft RPA. Lineage. Established as the 27th Fighter Wing on 28 July 1947, Table of Distribution Unit organized on 15 August 1947, discontinued on 1 August 1948. Activated on 1 August 1948, Table of Organization Unit, redesignated 27th Fighter Escort Wing on 1 February 1950. Redesignated 27th Strategic Fighter Wing on 20 January 1953. Redesignated 27th Fighter Bomber Wing on 1 July 1957. Redesignated 27th Tactical Fighter Wing on 1 July 1958. Redesignated 27th Fighter Wing on 1 October 1991. Redesignated 27th Special Operations Wing on 1 October 2007. Assignments: 8th Air Force, 15 August 1947, attached to Far East Air Forces, 1929 November 1950. 5th Air Force until 15 July 1951. 51. 42nd Air Division, 6 August 1951, attached to Far East Air Forces, 13 October 1952. 39th Air Division, 13 October 1952 c. 13 February 1953. 7th Air Division, 7 May 17 August 1955. 12th Air Force, 8 January 1958, attached to 834th Air Division after 15 July 1958. 832nd Air Division, 18 February 1959, attached to 3rd Air Division Provisional, 21 October 1 December 1962, 12th Air Force, 1 July 1975, 8th Air Force, 1 June 1992, 12th Air Force, 1 October 2002, Air Force Special Operations Command, 1 October 2007 present. Components: SIS Wing, 136th Fighter Bomber Wing, attached 20 May 30 June 1951 Group, 27th Fighter Group, later 27 Fighter Escort Group, 27 Operations Group, 27th Special Operations Group, 15 August 1947, 16 June 1952, 1 November 1991, present Squadron, 27th Special Operations Logistic Readiness Squadron, 27th Air Refueling Squadron, 25 October 1953, 1 July 1957, detached 7 May 17 August 1955, 307th Air Refueling Squadron, attached 6 June 25 October 1953, 428th Tactical Fighter Training Squadron, 2 April 1991 November 1991. 429th Tactical Fighter Squadron, attached 15 May 1967, 15 May 1968, 68, 465th Tactical Fighter Training Squadron, attached 1 December 1972, 1 August 1973, 481st Fighter Bomber Squadron, later 481st Tactical Fighter Squadron, 481st Tactical Fighter Training Squadron, 25 September 1957, 31 August 1973 detached, 125 June 1959, 9 June 11 October 1961, 24 April 522 Fighter Escort Squadron, later 522 Strategic Fighter Squadron, 522 Fighter Bomber Squadron, 522 Tactical Fighter Squadron, 522 Fighter Squadron, attached 6 August 1951, 15 June 1952, assigned 16 June 1952, 1 November 9. 523 Fighter Escort Squadron, later 523 Strategic Fighter Squadron, 523 Fighter Bomber Squadron, 523 Tactical Fighter Squadron, 524th Fighter Escort Squadron, later 524th Strategic Fighter Squadron, 524th Fighter Bomber Squadron, 524th Tactical Fighter Squadron, 524 Fighter Squadron. Attached 25 August 1951, 15 June 1952, assigned 16 June 1952. 4,427th Tactical Fighter Replacement Squadron, 1 October 1971, 15 January 1976, 4,429th Combat Crew Training Squadron, 20 December 1968, 1 December 1972. 522 Special Operations Squadron, 522 SOS inactivated 2014, MC-130J Commando Roman II, 524th Special Operations Squadron, 524 SOS relocated to Duke Field, FL in 2017, C-146. Stations: Kearney Army Airfield, later Kearney Air Force Base, Nebraska, 15 August 1947. Bergstrom Air Force Base, Texas, 16 March 1949. Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico, 18 February 1959 present. Aircraft: